Okay, today we're going to talk about public officials and how they feel about guns and gun ownership. I have my prompt sheet with me. Okay, we're going to talk about politicians and their bodyguards. Okay, first and foremost, I understand politicians need to have protection because some of them are not very popular, and the ones that are popular still find some lunatic out there that wants to hurt them. So I understand that politicians and other public figures need protection. But how do they feel about other people, the people that vote for them, the people whose taxes pay their salary, the people whose taxes pay their bodyguard's salary, the people whose taxes pay for their bodyguard's weapons? When a politician is being protected by a taxpayer-funded bodyguard, the bodyguard does not own their own weapon. The bodyguard might have a weapon that they use for their personal time, but while the bodyguard is on duty, he or she is carrying a government-bought weapon. Okay, the state police, the village police, the Secret Service. Okay, they don't pay for their guns. The department pays for their gun for them. And most of the time when they retire, they either turn the gun back in or they buy it from the department at their own expense. Now, it seems to me funny because while a lot of politicians support the Second Amendment, by definition most of them do, it's very, very funny to me because a majority of the times you have an anti-gun politician, I've never in my life seen a politician that was so against guns they told their bodyguard not to carry one. Never. At all. Ever. It doesn't happen. And a majority of the time the anti-gun politicians go on their anti-gun tirade, their bodyguards are in plain view. For instance, I saw a particular politician who was very, very unfriendly to the gun community, possibly the most unfriendly politician to the gun community in the entire United States. And this politician was making a speech which was sort of against gun ownership. But the issue is when the politician was making the speech, this politician was standing at a podium. And I literally, in plain sight, saw they were right up against him. They were 2 feet away from him from behind. The lineup of his taxpayer-funded security detail. I've seen politicians say, just because you live in a bad neighborhood doesn't mean you have a right to own a gun. Okay, well, when you live in a mansion in a gated community that has 24-hour security, and when you yourself ride around in a bomb-proof limousine protected by armed guards who carry firearms, it's easy for you to say that living in a bad neighborhood isn't an excuse to buy a gun. Okay? Fire the bodyguards, sell the limousine, sell the house, move into a bad neighborhood, wait 6 or 7 months, maybe a year, and then come back and tell me that people that live in bad neighborhoods shouldn't have guns. Okay? I had a friend of mine from high school. She was at Yankee Stadium, and she posted a picture on Facebook. And I'm not going to say the individual's name, but she had good seats. She was sitting at Yankee Stadium in the chair on the bleachers, and if you look down several rows, there was a particular public figure. And she took a picture of that public figure and put it on Facebook. And throughout the conversation, she said her and her friends were talking blah 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 blah. One thing that caught my attention in particular was she said that she saw this particular person was with several friends and also several bodyguards. Well, obviously, if a politician or a public figure or any public official is going to a stadium with tens of thousands of people, they're going to have protection. especially because some people at stadiums like to get drunk and fight. So they're going to have protection. And if I was the mayor or the governor or the president or the senator and I was going to Yankee Stadium, I'd have a bodyguard too. I'm not even going to lie about that. That's my printer. Excuse me. But the issue is with me, I am for the Second Amendment. I am not opposed to law-abiding citizens bearing arms. I'm just not. This particular person is against the Second Amendment and against self-defense law. That means this person doesn't believe the Constitution gives you a right to own a gun, doesn't believe we should have the right to defend ourselves from a criminal attack. That doesn't mean when you get drunk in the bar and fight. It means when a criminal attacks you unprovoked, like comes into your home, or you're standing on the street corner with your hands in your pocket and the criminal attacks you. Okay, this person doesn't believe that we should have a right to protect ourselves. And they said it publicly. Kind of funny because this person does have a law degree. And it's like, you have a law degree and you don't know the Constitution gives me the right to buy a gun? Whatever. Okay. The issue is, if a crazy attacker tried to attack this particular person, whether it was Yankee Stadium or anywhere else in the world, the bodyguard, who was armed with a taxpayer-funded gun, I might add, would use that taxpayer-funded gun to kill the assailant. Or at least seriously wound the assailant. Because if you notice, when some crazy person attacks a politician, several bodyguards move in to grab the politician and move them out of the way. Several other bodyguards come in and either use fists or guns to subdue that person. And I'm thinking to myself, hold the phone here. This is just any anti-Second Amendment, anti-self-defense person. You have a taxpayer-funded bodyguard carrying a taxpayer-funded gun. Okay? Now, if someone attacks you and your taxpayer-funded bodyguard pulls out their taxpayer-funded gun and shoots and kills the assailant, will you condemn your bodyguard? Will you tell your bodyguard you shouldn't have done that? Or will you say that your bodyguard should be prosecuted for murder? Because when there is no self-defense law, and we'll get into this later in my other video today, if there is no self-defense law, there's no difference between someone punching someone in the face for no reason or someone punching someone in the face for trying to purse snatch their girlfriend. You're both treated exactly the same. So when there's no self-defense law, someone using a gun to stop an assassin is just as much of a murderer as the assassin himself. And that got me thinking. You know, are you really that against self-defense? The odds of you being murdered are like 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 20,000. It's so astronomical, it's ridiculous. But if your number does come up, you want to be able to defend yourself. Understandable. If I was a public figure and an assassin tried to kill me, I'd want my bodyguard to use force to stop the assassin. I would hope that my loyal followers that are standing on the sidelines hugging me would help me. But once again, I'm the type of person that would say you have a right to keep a firearm in your home. You have a right to defend your wife from an attack and stuff like that. I need to check my time. I always check my time. I'm at the 15 minutes. Okay, 9 minutes. Okay. Okay, well, the next talking point. The next talking point here is politicians that own guns. Now, a politician is a citizen. A politician has a right to own a gun, just like you or I do. But I find it amazing that I have seen video footage, and I am prepared to substantiate this. I have seen video footage of some of the most anti-gun people you could think of admitting on camera that they themselves are a gun owner. And there's one particular person whose name I will not mention. This person, I've never in my life heard this person say anything that was not absurd. It's amazing this person's actually been holding public office for so many years. This person, who is very, very anti-gun, this person has signed every single anti-gun bill or law or anything they have seen. In a video dated 2008, this person said publicly at a rally that they own shotguns. I don't know if their shotgun is owned for self-defense or hunting or target shooting or collection. Some people buy shotguns just to collect them. You can buy a gun just to hang it on your wall and look at it. Okay, but the issue is, if you're so against guns, why are you saying in public you own a gun? It's kind of hypocrisy. I think it's hypocrisy. That's my opinion when I say that. But I mean, because a lot of people that just don't own guns don't pay attention to it. Okay, doesn't mean you're against the Second Amendment. It just means you just don't own a gun. I know a lot of people that don't have a problem with me owning a gun, but they choose not to own one themselves. A majority of the people in my family just don't own guns. Some do, most don't. That's just their opinion. But people that don't own guns don't realize this. The politician or the public figure or whoever he or she is that's up at the podium saying guns are bad, gun owners are bad, the Second Amendment is why we have so much crime in this country, that person themselves might own a gun. You might very well follow that person from the anti-gun rally to the gun store to pick up a case of ammunition. Okay? How about politicians being caught using guns? There was a video I saw of a particular politician who was also unfriendly to the gun community. This politician had a 9mm Tech 9. Now, a Tech 9 is a very, very heavy gun. I can never picture myself buying one. It is classified as a handgun. It's very, very small. It's very, very heavy. It has a detachable box magazine that does not go into the pistol grip. Okay, most handguns, the magazine goes into the pistol grip. This handgun, the magazine is not near the pistol grip. It's like this. And you hold it. It's kind of like I don't know if it's a miniature rifle or not. And I don't even know if it's legal in my state. My state, well, it does fire semi-automatic, so it's not a machine gun. But this particular person, I don't know if they own it themselves, or I don't know if they were at a police range or a military range. Because if you go to a police range or a military range, assuming you're a VIP guest, they might let you shoot their weapons. I guarantee you, if the governor of this state or that state appears at the sheriff's shooting range, the sheriff will come out personally, shake their hand, and say, "Do you want to test our new handgun? Yes or no?" But this person was seen shooting a gun. Now, people call the gun an assault weapon. Even though it only fires one bullet at a time, they call it an assault weapon. They just do. Because it looks scary. It's no more powerful than any of my handguns, but it looks scary. Okay. I'm going to have to pause it now because I want to go on to finish another point. Yeah, it's time to